Hi guys, right, today we are looking at overhead squatting. So particularly with dumbbells, we still can knock down, and that's what most of you guys have got. But also if you can get it with a dumbbell and keep the control and the movement nice and smooth with a dumbbell, generally you're going to become alright with the barbell as well. So we're going to look at two variations of the same exercise to start with. So kettlebell windmills from standing and kneeling. The other variation is one we've done earlier in the week, which is the squat and press. So squatting down into your deep squat, trying to drive your hips forward as far as you can, elbows in, pressing up overhead as far as you can, hold, come back down. From there you can load one arm and work on driving up, locking out overhead, come back down. It doesn't matter too much what you use as a weight. I would start light and focus on the movement. So trying to get that full extension, the movement, and if you can, if you struggle, work on not stopping in your shoulder to press, driving right up through the shoulder as high as you can. Same as handstands. If you elevate the shoulder right through, you can generally generate a lot more tension in the trunk. As you get stronger and more comfortable with it, you can start playing around with leaving your shoulder down in a more locked position. Alright? So, the other two exercises are kettlebell windmills. For the purpose of these ones today, we're going to have one foot pointing forward, one foot pointing out. Whichever foot's going forward, you're going to load that hand, lift up overhead, and walk forward so you don't hit the wall. From here, keep the shoulder locked up nice and high. We're going to work on that little hip hinge as if we're doing a kettlebell swing. So hips going backwards. We're going to twist and rotate the shoulder in the socket, come right down through, try and tap the floor, squeeze tight, driving from under my shoulder, all the way back up, lock out overhead. So trying to get used to this motion of not popping the ribs out, just bend the back, stay nice and tight, hip hinging backwards, loading through the core, go right down, squeeze, drive back up, and keep that shoulder moving freely in the joint. So when we do start overhead squatting and loading with weight, it feels far more comfortable and natural to have that shoulder in that position whilst moving. Okay? Second variation, we're going to come down onto one knee, right? So split stance. Whichever knee's up, we're going to leave that kettlebell arm up in the air, loaded. Lock it out nice and high. Same principle. From there, we're going to rotate, trying to keep the shoulder and arm still. Tap the floor, load, and drive back up. Keep balance. What we're not doing is, as we come down, is bending that arm and pushing off the floor. We want to try and load as much as possible, squeeze and lift back through our obliques, back through our core to get back up. It's going to build a lot of strength in the core, so when we're loading one arm at a time, we've got that stability in the trunk and strength in the trunk to cope with the twisting forces and the rotational forces, so we don't feel like we just need a buckle. If we've got mobility and we've got a bit of overhead strength there, we want that core stability as well to keep our shape locked as much as possible. Alright? It is also going to get us used to locking the shoulder in place and then creating a bit of movement and distraction and a bit of shear force within the shoulder joint to start opening it up and getting things a little bit looser. They're not easy, the movements are a bit weird to begin with, but the more you practice them, the easier they'll become. Again, for the kettlebell from standing, key principles: whichever leg you're loading or shoulder you're loading, have that foot straight. Have the opposing one going out, feet lined up, that hand up, and then it's just a hip hinge back. Rotate the shoulders and come down. Your body locked nice and square. Loading the back of the shoulder. Try and tap the floor if you can. If you can't, don't worry. My legs are staying nice and straight, locked. I want to squeeze tight and slowly drive back up. As you go, slowly up the weight, right? It's not about trying to get a 1 rep max. It's trying to get that movement nice and smooth, feeling the shoulder move in the socket, and gradually build and get used to that trunk stability and hopefully that overhead stability as we go. Alright? A little bit different, but they are very good. They feel good when you get them done, when you get them right. So have a go, enjoy, and if you've got any questions, please just ask. Alright, take care guys.